We so we're not just you and I anymore.
Cool. No problem.
uh, yeah. So the podcast. Steve was telling me he was on a podcast this afternoon and kind of got into a little bit of a fracas with the host. Sounds like.
Oh
A
yeah.
little bit. A little bit. A little bit.
That's great.
A difference in ideals, or
is it a full moon?
When you tell a guy who's running a podcast that the guy's full of shit,
yeah,
it usually doesn't mean, it's usually not a good sign. But you know what? 2/3 of the people that were on there felt the same way. I think this guy lost his game this afternoon. So
wow.
He promoted the shit out of this thing. So he doesn't know what he's talking about. He swears the world's coming to an end in September. 3 million houses are going to go into foreclosure. And he's doing that because he's got a foreclosure program that he wants to sell. I go, no, what are you doing?
Oh, of course.
You know, so what a thief.
Buying bank-owned stuff?
Nah. You won't see that stuff for a while. Even if they pulled the trigger on the 1st of August, you won't see that stuff for a long time. It doesn't mean that the people aren't going to panic. Yeah. It doesn't mean that they're going to, want to go and do a short sale or call their broker. You're going to see a lot of inventory, but it's not going to mean gloom and doom for everybody, so.
Right. So you're talking about on those judicial states, right? And
all the states, all right? Because even in the non-judicial states, they're still going to be so backed up. Guys, I don't mean to be bad, rude, all right? But I just stopped. Been driving for a couple hours. And I am across the street. I was telling Justin, I'm across the street from the Daytona International Speedway. And what do you do when you're there? You eat checkers across the street. So that's what I'm having my dinner right now as we're talking. So I'm sorry about that.
You should give us a tour of the Speedway while you're there. That'd be cool.
Well, I'm gonna get out of the car and flip this camera around so you can see what it's. Chevrolet must have a lot of stock in this place because every sign is a Chevrolet sign. This place is crazy. Even the walkways going across the highway here, like I said, they're all checkerboard. It's pretty cool. Anyway, so go ahead.
Yeah.
So we're gonna chat tonight. Hopefully, we got that deal we were talking about this afternoon.
Yeah, Ed. I don't know where Ed's at, but maybe he'll pop in here.
Oh, he'll pop in. I told everybody going to make $10,000 more on this deal. They went, what? Yeah, just show up. I'll show you how to do it.
Yeah, that sounds like good times. Good times.
Yep. And it's not something secret. We've spoken about it a few times already. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. We have. Yes.
So who we got on here? Let's see who we got on here. Participants. Oh, LaShonda's on. Oh, all right.
Mag was on. He just dropped off for some reason. Might have technical difficulties.
Oh, he'll be back.
We got Vaughn from California.
Cool.
Here's Mag.
Mag is back.
What's going on in your world, Vaughn?
Oh man, to be honest, I'm getting to the point to where there's just so much going on that I'm getting a little bit frazzled. I've got 3 contracts that have been signed and returned to me. One of them's a land deal, and I thought it might have been a good deal because she's asking $70,000. She said it was appraised at $70,000. I didn't know you can appraise land, so I offered her $40,000, and she went for it. It's 2 acres in Tennessee, and I got under contract, and Nick was showing me how to reverse engineer how much I should have made the offer for, but it's hard. There's like no new building going on in that area, and
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. Keep going. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I figured I'll get it under contract and put it out there, and so now I just got to build the ad, and so now I'm like, that's something I've never done before. I don't know how to build the ad. I don't know what it's supposed to look like. Do I just go onto the Facebook places and just see what everybody else is doing? Is that how I go about it?
I don't sell vacant land, so I'm the wrong guy to ask. But maybe Justin's got some experience with that.
Yeah, it's an okay thing to go copy and steal ideas on ads. I do it all the time, and it's, you know, absolutely. I have never had a great idea that was mine. I've stolen all of them, or paid dearly for them, one or the other. And but yeah, go take a look at some, and then just kind of mimic the ones you like, the ones that look like they're put together well. But yeah, Facebook Marketplace, okay, is a great place to get started. And what it will ask for is a zip code, right? And when you're putting the listing together for the Facebook Marketplace, and so it's based on the zip code and the address that you put in there, and anybody in that area, it'll start showing that listing to those people in that area. If you boost that post, then it'll show it even more. Okay. So that's pretty simple process that Facebook's made very, very easy. It's just like a push of a button, and make sure your credit card number is in there. Tell it how much you want to spend each day. $5 a day is the minimum if you want to boost it. But just the marketplace listing alone without the boost is pretty damn effective. I've got a one-on-one student that just I had him test this theory. I had him build a fake ad. So you have a real property under contract. You could put an ad together for that real deal. But with him without a deal yet, I told him, hey, build a fake ad just to see how it works and see how many potential buyers you can have once you get a deal. He put a deal. This is like podunk nowhere, and he put an ad on Facebook Marketplace, and he's had like 18 inquiries within 24 hours or so. So
Nice.
you know what I mean. So it's real easy to do. Just don't be afraid. Just hop right out there. Don't be like, oh, I did the ad wrong, dude. You'll see when you look at those ads on there. They're all over the place. Some of it looks like some of them were written by people in the third grade.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and they
Okay.
still
And then
sell.
okay. And then I don't know if I should ask now, but I wanted to ask you guys about a potential deal. It's kind of a weird one though. The dude wants to do like an owner finance lease option type of situation, but there he says there's like 25 to 30,000 that needs to, you know, go into it. But it's all finish work, and he was building it, but it ARVs at like 140. He's asking for 90, so 90 plus the 30,000 in repairs puts me at 120. But would that even be a deal if he's trying to do something creative? You know, who's my end buyer, like an investor, right?
Hey, Coach Steve, I know you're out
Um,
there
I'm
you're at the
just,
speedway, so why don't you
I'm
take
just,
it over here? Oh
I'm just walking back to the car. I don't know if anybody saw that picture, the camera.
no, man, I was gonna pass it over to you right now so you could show us. I'm sorry we missed
Okay,
that.
it's all right. So let's do this deal, and I'll get back out of the car again. All right. So what do we got? He's got vacant land. He's got a house. I'm sorry, I missed whatever the conversation.
I guess my question's on the on a house. It was an extension, and the dude's putting in like 25 to 30. He said it needs 25 to 30,000 more, um, but he's asking 90 for it. He says it's worth 120. I looked it up, and it looks like it's more around 140.
What do you
But
mean extension? You have it now, and you're going to extend the contract? What do you mean by
no,
extension?
no, he's extended the property. He's added
Oh,
more square
okay,
footage to it. Yeah, he's a
good.
builder. Yeah, so but he says it just needs finish work now and some plumbing and appliances. But he says it needs like 25 to 30,000 more into it. So I figured maybe my end buyer is going to be like a an investor, but he wants to do something creative. So I can't make him
Investor,
a cash offer.
landlord. You want to check and make sure his name's on the deed and all that good stuff. Do a little bit of homework. What I would do is probably put it under a lease option or put it even under a contract for purchase and look for a landlord. Look for someone that's a flipper. All right, somebody you can flip this thing for fast. That's what I would do. Don't go into this thing long range because you don't know if you need more permits. You don't know what the situation is with the house. Just get in it and get out of it. Don't fall in love with it. Get in it and get out of it. You know. So you know what?
Okay.
If the guy wants to do something creative, real simple. Either sign an option to sell, or you just get an option to purchase rather, right? which is one way to do it, or just get a contractor purchase for the money you want to pay for it and get a long-term closeout date. In other words, get 90 days. Is it on the market right now for sale?
Yeah, well, he has it on Zillow, not the MLS, but yeah.
It's on Zillow. So how long has it been on there for?
I'm not exactly sure.
Because is it fresh? Do you think it's been on there for 3 months? Do you have any idea?
I really have no idea.
Go look, dude. Put it in your Google or
Yeah.
whatever. Pull it up
Yeah.
on Zillow, and then look, see how many days on Zillow. And
Because that makes a difference. That's going to show us when you look at the history of it. It might say it's on there for 3 days, but you pull up the history on it, and Zillow will tell you it's been on and off for 6 times in the last 3 years. So, but you don't want to walk into a time bomb, and you want to protect yourself. So the easiest way, the cleanest way to do it is just buy an option for the property. Get an option, narrow them down the dollars as much as you can, and just see if you can flip that contract flip that option or flip the contract to sale. Make yourself 5-10 grand or more. Don't get crazy, because you want to if he's got this thing for sale, you want to make sure that your option is exclusive, and then he's taking his home off the market.
Okay.
If it's not going to be exclusive and this house needs work and it's not put back together, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time, I think, And I wouldn't do anything as far as looking to stay in this thing for a long time, as far as doing any kind of financing or anything like that. Just get in and get out. If it needs work and it's not complete, which means there's no COs or whatever on the property possibly, or it's missing in a home, it has to be inspected by the county or whatever. And if they come in the door and this is an older house, and all of a sudden, well, this is the first time we've been in the door, and you know what? Now you're going to bring the whole house up to code. Oh, geez. That's right. Just being on an option or a contract. Okay. Don't own it. All right, man?
Alrighty. Thank you.
Make the numbers work. Just give him what he wants and see if he can get a spread on it. That's all.
Good
job, man. You're a maniac out there.
Dude, I'm so impressed with Vaughn.
This guy is a maniac.
Yeah, he's turning into a real hitter. That's for sure. Dude,
one of these days. Thank you.
Yeah, man, whatever happens, do not get discouraged, man, because I don't say this to everybody, but I see the skills in you, man, getting developed that are going to be dynamite for you.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yes, just stay the course. Doing well. Stick with it, man.
Stick with it.
You throw enough contracts out there and all that. All this is experience, and everybody should know it. It's all experience for you and for everybody when you bring it back to the club here and we talk about it. All right, but primarily you're on the front. You're in the front row. You're on the front lines. You're talking to these people, even if these are all a complete waste of time. You're still building rapport with these people, putting them on contracts. Now, when you get one that's a real serious deal, you're not going to let it fall between your fingers. You're going to contract with that guy, and you're going to know what to do with him. But that builds time.
Oh, heck yeah.
That's experience. Yeah. And you're getting it now. Congratulations. Keep it going. Slam them.
Thank you.
All right, man.
Big Steve.
Yes, sir.
How's it going?
Wonderful. Who's that?
That sounds like Mag.
Yeah, that's
Mag. What's up?
Hey, quick question. I have this guy that called me today. He said that his mom is going through foreclosure.
Yep.
And I asked him, how long, is she behind? He said 3 months. The situation is they want to keep the property. She does, she's going through tough times now, but she wants to keep the property. She doesn't want to leave. I gave him basically 2 options. I gave the cash offer, and I gave subject to, I would take over the payments. But he said that he would like his mom to stay on the property. Is there
what state is the house? What state is the house?
New Jersey.
All right, New Jersey, a judicial state. So if they're 3 months behind, it's going to take them years, the bank, to get her out of that house.
Yeah.
So, you can fiddle around with this for a while. Don't worry. Nothing's going to happen anytime soon. But you have some people that just panic as soon as they get a lis pendens, which is the notice of pre-foreclosure, let's just say, and they move out of the house. That's the house.
Oh, okay.
And there's nobody in it for years. All right. So you're not her bank. You're not going to loan them money and then let them stay in the house. Ain't happening.
Yeah,
If they're not making the payments to the bank, they're not making the payments to you either.
exactly.
All
Okay,
right. So
that's what I thought.
you're not her banker. And it's not, that whole transaction reeks if you're going to let the people stay in the house. It's in some states, it's illegal. All right.
Mm.
That they figure you're going to get grabbed for stealing equity or some damn thing. Don't get involved with that. You got to walk away with the property, and you probably will. Diary of 30 days and call them back in 30 days. You'd be surprised. Time, is going to make a big difference in that situation.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get the mom out of the house.
Yeah,
I even offer him a little bit more money, for him to find a rent, for his mom, and pay the first rent to help out a little bit. If I take this house subject to, would be perfect.
Is there any equity in this house? What's the deal?
I think there's some equity in there. I think it's like,
do you know what the numbers look like?
no, I didn't get the whole picture.
Before you make anybody an offer, okay, you got to know your numbers. Other than that, you're like a crusader going into the. You're gonna slay them. They've got guns and they've got rifles, and you got a Boy Scout knife. So listen, before you make a phone call, you're looking at pre-foreclosures. You gotta have some kind of an idea what the numbers are. And sellers are not going to tell you the truth either. All right. You can start by looking at PropStream. You can start.
He didn't want to tell me. He didn't want to tell me the property address. I think he wants me meet me first. I think he said.
Well, sometimes they don't know who they don't know who they're calling. You might go there with a few $1,000s in your pocket. You might wind up getting held up, and all of a sudden you got no money in your pocket. So, I don't meet with anybody unless the deal is just so good to be true. The only time I leave my office is if I'm picking up a check or I'm picking up a contract. That's it.
Good point.
You want to meet with me? Why? What for?
Yeah.
I don't need experience.
Yeah.
I know what a house looks like. I don't need to see a house. All I know is you're in foreclosure. So what are the numbers like? How much is the house worth? What's the payoff, or how much are they behind on the mortgage? Right? And if you ask somebody, well, what's your payoff? Well, my principal is $150,000. That's not the payoff on the house. So everybody knows the payoff is going to be default interest, legal fees, forced placement insurance, all your escrow taxes and all backed up. When you start putting all this together, all of a sudden that number is out of control. But if you are going to go in the door and you can talk to these people and do a subject to, maybe that's the way to go. And you got to figure out what they're sitting in as far as equity is concerned. Put this light back on. Oh shit. Okay, what they're sitting with, if there's equity, what the market value is, and what it's going to cost to get this thing back on track, and what the payoff is on the mortgage. So, and don't be surprised. 3 months could turn into 10 months.
Yeah.
Everybody lies, and people in that situation are also ashamed, and they're ashamed of themselves that they really got stuck in this, and they got to call you in the first place. That's a delicate rope to walk. It really is. Oh, yeah. So but you know what? You can help a lot of people if you understand how these subject twos work. I want to get more involved in it. I've done not a lot of them, but I've done enough of them, and I want the way this market's going to go in the next 6 months. Man, if you can master doing subject twos, you're going to do really well, because all these properties that got sold in the last 3-4 years, what do they got? They got low interest rates. So if you can get these houses to cash flow, rent them out, lease option them, whatever, you're going to do really well.
And then if I get them subject to, I basically I'll become the bank like you do, right? And then just put someone in there.
You're stepping in on a subject to. You're stepping into the transaction as the owner. You're the new owner, right? So now the bank is still the bank. So you're paying the underlying mortgage on the property. All right. Now, what you do with that property is going to depend on what your plan was going into this thing. All right. If your plan was to keep it long term and make it a rental, that's one thing. If your plan is to keep it 5 years, or I would keep it over a year, rent it out or something like this, so it becomes long term capital gains. But if those rules don't change, who knows what's coming? But after the year is up, I'd look to possibly even sell it and wrap the mortgage. In other words, write a new mortgage for a new amount of money and include this in the basis of it. So in other words, if he owes 150, if the balance is $150,000 on his mortgage and his payments are, I don't know, $1,000 a month, right? You're going to sell this, guy's going to put money down, and now you're going to carry back a $200,000 mortgage. So you write a new mortgage for $200,000, that becomes a second, right? This is a simple way to do this. There's a lot of ways to do this where you actually protect the person
Right.
that's selling the property and all. I'm giving you the 2-minute scenario here. All right.
Yeah,
So you
once I
write-
got the property, once I get this property on the contract, I'm gonna have to go to you.
You're not gonna no. You don't put this under contract and then call me. You're gonna have a plan ahead of time before you even do that. All right. Don't waste your time. Don't do all. I'm
Right.
not saying when people are in pre-foreclosure, these people you gotta deal with kid gloves. It's not like some Joe that's just selling this house on the internet. This is a different ballgame. These people have a serious financial problem. You got to respect the situation and you want to cure the problem. That's important to know. All right. So you're not just going to, it's not a runaway deal. You got to, each one of these, you got to treat with kid gloves. You got to have a plan going in the door. Otherwise, don't lead them down the wrong, spit on the guy that wants to just steal the house. If I could help these people to stay in the house, I'd do it. Because it's the right thing to do. And that'll come back and reward you. That's good karma, man. If anything you can do, whenever you're out there on the street, whenever you're making phone calls, anything, if you can help solve a person's problem and you don't have to get the house, the next person you call could really be a home run. Bear that in mind. You help this person out, now they become one of your superstars. They love you. They'll give you a great reference. You can use them because you helped them out. Think about that a minute. So don't be the guy that's just trying to steal a house. You want to be a guy that solves problems. If you're going to get involved with pre-foreclosures, you're dealing with personalities. You're dealing with some people that just don't give a rat's behind what their credit looks like. They'll just hand you the house and walk away. And you got people that have lived in this house all their lives. It was their grandparents' house and was handed down to them. And now the worst thing is going on. They're going to lose this house because they can't swing the mortgage. They refinanced it. The money's gone and they can't hold it together. So you got all these people and every other song in the world, every other story. So there's guys that are out there that train just on subject to. I'm going to tell you straight up, I'm taking a class on it right now. I need to brush up on it because I know there's going to be an avalanche of deals coming. And this guy's pretty good. I want to finish the class. And if it just sounds like something I want to share, I'll let you guys know. But there's a lot of guys out there. You can watch a lot of podcasts. And there's a lot of people out there that do it wrong. And God forbid you don't hold up your end. The consumer that trusted you on putting this deal together just got screwed. Now they have no way of getting anything. And now they're sitting on a hot potato. They're getting foreclosed when you promised them you were going to fix it. So, all right, I'm going to get up off my horse now. I know we went way off on a different tangent, but you got to be careful with subject twos. It's great business. I've done a bunch of them. There's different ways to paper them. But you want to speak to people that have done a lot of these that can guide you in the right direction and guide you to a plan where you can help people. Go in it looking to help people, right? And still do the rest of your business, and you're going to do really well. And you don't have to stay in your own backyard, but you got to have legal people in your hand wherever you're going to be marketing and doing business. That's
Right.
important. That's important. You got to have good help. All right.
Thanks,
So,
Steve.
Meg, I hope I answered your question, man.
Yes, you did. You always do, man. Appreciate you.
All right. Very good.
I
Very
want to
good.
point out something here too, that Steve's been in the business a long time and has done a really good number of deals of different types, of different strategies and techniques. But you guys notice how he looks at the learning process? Did you notice that? He's like, "Hey, I'm taking a course right now. I'm really devouring it, because I'm trying to get prepared for what I see happening and with the economy and everything here coming up in the future and all that." Man, grab a hold of that, everybody, and mimic that. Okay,
Well,
mimic
the,
that.
the thing with it is everybody, no matter who's running a course, has a different edge on something. Some of these guys just steal other people's stuff, and that runs rampant all over the place. Some of these people have never done one of these deals in their lives, whatever they're selling, but they've got a good line of shit, and they figure they can sell anything. When you go one of these places in there, and the guy's parading around, and he's got a big house, and the Ferraris are outside. Listen, 10-1, the Ferraris are rented, and the house isn't his. All right, 9 times out of 10. So forget about all that. But I listen to podcasts every once in a while. Now I think I just reduced the amount of them that I'm going to be listening to by 1 today. You had to listen to the beginning of our conversation to hear that.
What was the name of it so we can go
No.
it?
Let's not go there. Believe me, it's going to be a loud thud soon, so you're probably going to know who it is anyway.
Well, some people popped in here a little late, and they didn't hear that you got into this little fracas on a podcast today.
Go back to the order. It's worth listening to later on. It's a lot. It's just the way it is. What can you do? Anyways, so who brought that deal up this afternoon? Is that person on here yet?
Ed.
Was Ed?
Yeah, Ed, you're here.
Hey.
I'm here.
Ed's here. Man.
All right, so we're gonna get the whiteboard out, Mr. Justin. You're in charge of the whiteboard. Just gotta write down nice, whatever comes out. Whatever they put down. Some of the stuff I don't know. So let's hear that deal from this morning, Ed. What's that deal look like? What's the value of the property?
So he's got it listed at 119.
What's it worth? What's the top dollar worth? Is it worth?
It's showing 123 is the Zestimate, but some of the homes were showing a little bit more than that in the area. So, but that's what it is on Zillow.
So what are you using for values? You're just using Zillow?
I was also using PropStream as well, and
what do they come?
It was all.
Well, listen, for the sake of this, why don't we just say FMV at 123? That's fine. Okay. Asking price 119. What are you giving them for this property?
Well, I wanted to offer him $5,000 down.
Right. $5,000 down on what price?
At 119,000. So I'd be borrowing. He'd be financing 114,000. It's going to be a seller finance.
And how motivated is this guy?
Well, I thought he was pretty motivated, but I haven't been able to reach him since Friday. I left him a message tonight to call me by 5 o'clock tomorrow or fire me.
Right. So you said this is the guy that said he wanted to do something that was creative?
Yeah.
You know how long he's had the property?
Quite a while, like since 2007, I think.
Is he an investor?
Yes, and he's selling all his properties. He said.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Okay, all right.
And this is like one of his last ones because it was always a good deal. It's a duplex, and
well, when you go on PropStream. Look for the key that says other properties linked, and you can tell how many properties the guy's got. If they're in his own personal name or in that LLC, it does a nice search. So you know what you're dealing with somewhat. All right. So this is a duplex, this house?
Yes.
It's kind of, all right. So what are the rents like?
He's getting 1250 for the two sides. He said he's under market. It should be around 1500.
All right. So why don't we do this? Let's look at a couple of things. All right. All right. Is there anything else you want to tell us about this? Does it need any kind of work?
Well,
1250
no,
each
he,
side.
No,
it
1250
seemed to be
total rent.
good to go. He'd done some work in 2015, he said.
All right. You said the 1250 was total, right? Total rent
Right, for the two sides.
to all together. Okay. So we
Yep.
got 1250 coming in, and that's going to have to include all of our holdbacks. All right. We got 119,000. You know about how long this thing's been on the market?
It was like 5 days.
If you looked on Zillow and you went down to history,
That's 27 days. I'm looking at it right now.
okay, if you go down to the history file on it, on the bottom, just drag
Right.
down where it'll show what he paid for it, maybe back in 2007 or whatever. I'd like to see if the person's had this thing up for sale and taken it on and off the market a few times. That's going to show you whether this guy's, another thing about his motivation. Do you see anything there?
630-21. He's got it at 119. That's the only
thing
one that's
shown.
on there.
That's the only thing shown.
Right.
Well, you know what? If I was going to go out, what I was going to talk about this evening was buying this property, right? And getting a discount on it because I'm going to offer them all cash. And it's not going to be my money. I'm going to bring in a private lender. So even if we gave the private lender, let's say we offered this guy, what's 119 times 80 cents on a dollar? What's 80% of 119? Who's got a calculator there? Round numbers.
95,200.
Well, let's just say we offer him 95 grand. $95,000, right? And the $95,000 is all cash. Take his money and run. Now, if I go and I borrow $95,000 from a private lender, I'm probably going to pay the guy 8% for his money, right? So 95,000 times 8% is what? Divide it by 12. It's 9,500, 95, 918. Well, 95,000 times 8%.
633.
633. Okay. So $633. All right. So now we got 1,200 coming in. We know we got 633 going out to our private lender if we make this deal happen. And we got taxes and insurance on this thing. What do you figure taxes and insurance are? Any idea?
Yeah, I got it at 158 on the the taxes.
Yeah.
And I didn't have an insurance number. I was just
Let's
I'm
just say
assuming
$250.
probably
Let's just say total is $250. Scratch the so $250. All right, so we got 250. All right, so we're going to take the 633 and the 250, 68. What is that? 883, right? And that's going to be our number of our basic monthly cost without any reserves, without any type of management costs or anything like that. So it's 800. Was it 833, 883? Okay. We got 1250 generally coming in the doorway. So we got a small spread. If we can get this house for this all cash price of 95,000, all right, because we're going to give them all cash. We're not going to jerk around. We're going to give 8% interest only to our seller. To our investor. All right. So where are we at right now? So we make this deal. Let's say we're not, and this is not a big discount. If this guy's a landlord, and you're walking in the door, so listen, I got my private money set up, or whatever you say, and I can close in 4 days as soon as I clear title, in or out, pass or play. And when you got cash, you make the deals happen. 95 is really a lot of money for this house if you're paying them all cash. But let's just go with that. All right. So look at the spread on this right now. You've got round numbers. What is it? About $24,000 between the 95 and the 119. Right now, what are your options? You can sell the property outright for the 119. You can lease the property out. Right. You can lease it out on an option and put it up for 129 or 130 to an investor or somebody who wants to live on one side and maybe occupy the other. Live on one side rather than rent out the other side. I don't do a lot of these duplexes.
House hacking.
I haven't had a lot of luck with them, but it's the way it goes. This is my choice of tenants, I guess. It's like me with apartment buildings. But that's what I would probably do with this. Now we're doing this deal.
What was that? What was that last thing, Coach Steve? Sell the property outright for $119,000. Lease the property out for $1,250 a month. Keep the difference between $883 and $1,250.
Lease option the property out for a few years.
Okay.
3 years.
And what was the?
And mark the price up.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Mark the price up. Mark it up 15%.
Okay.
All right. All right. Mark it up 15%.
Okay. So what was that other one? Did you say option the property out to an investor? Was that like a master lease type scenario or something?
You can look for a landlord or look for an investor who might want to live in one side and he can rent out the other side and cash flow. Not cash flow it, but he can come close to breaking even on his end. It won't cost him that much to live there. So that's the deal. No, 650. So his investor's going to come in the door, and his investor's going to spend a few bucks. So it's going to cost him $500 or $600 a month to live there, which is cheap, right? And he's going to wind up being able to buy the property. So that's what I got on this. What do you think?
He said he would finance it for me.
Well, that's something else.
And that's what I'd like to attack.
If it'll take you $5,000 down.
I would like to find people that are they're owners and see if I can get people to finance it for me. Kind of working off of that Brandon Simmons concept.
Here's something else you can do. You got anybody with $20,000? You got anybody you can lean on for a lender for say $20,000?
I probably could, yes.
Okay, so here's how I'd structure that deal. All right, let's go down one more. This is another deal on seller financing. All right, all the way down, option 2. All right. What I would do is I'd say, listen, I'd say, Mr. Lender, Mr. Seller, I'll give you the whole $119,000. You know what? I'll give you $125 for this property. I'll give you $125 for it. I don't want to talk. No, I'm not going to talk to the guy about interest. I'm going to say, here's what I want to do. I want to put a first mortgage on it for $20,000. And that's going to cover my down payment to you. And then I want you to carry, all right, the other $105,000 and the seller finance back for say, what were you looking to spend a month on this thing?
Well, I was looking to try and just actually pass it off to maybe a landlord that would want to just buy it out from me. That's what my goal
so
is.
I'm gonna offer this guy. I'm gonna give him $20,000 down, and then I got interest on the $20,000 every month. I would just do interest only, not gonna break it, right? And say you give the guy $800 a month for 5 years, and then let it balloon. But I'd negotiate from 10 years down, but I wouldn't do less than 5. So now what? Now you got built-in financing, right? You got an investor that's making a couple of bucks, and you could even set up your second mortgage with the seller, where there's no interest and there's no payments for the first 2 years until you pay off the 20 grand to your friend. Or whatever it is. Let's just say it's 2 years or 3 years, whatever you set up on a payment schedule, or however that money. You got to make sure that the money you're collecting is going to be able to pay down that $20,000 that you're paying out. You follow?
Yeah.
So it's going to be over time, and that's cool, right? If we took a cash flow of, what were we cash flowing on this thing? 500, 600? Well, you know what? In this scenario, if we give this guy $20,000 down and we're not making any payments on this thing, all right, and we got $1,200 a month coming in the doorway, $1,250 a month, and we take out the interest and the tax, we're still clearing $1,000. All right,
Cash
we can
flowing
pay off.
$367 a month on the 1250 to the 883.
Okay, but just in principle alone, if we did it this way, we could you got $1,000 extra a month, even if it's even if you sent your private lender $800 or $900 a month, you're gonna pay this thing off in no time flat. So now the guy that's got this house, and it's probably a headache, right, is going to get $20,000 up front from you. He wants to sell or finance it. So it becomes an installment sale for him because he's an investor and he's not paying all his taxes all at once. He's got to recoup, but he's going to pay in small amounts, which is much better than just going to the well and just having to pay the IRS right now. Because we don't know what else is coming down the pike. So how's all that sound?
It's very good.
All right. Well, that's what I was going to say this afternoon.
Is that close to what
make-
you had cooking already, Ed?
What I was kind of working on was similar to that, but I was offering him a lower payment at 5%. I was going to go in saying that, you know, I'd like to offer you more than a standard rate at 5%. So, you know, going in at 119, I was going to try and get him $5,000 down. That was going to be a financing of 114,000, and that came out to like a $612 a month payment. You know, with taxes and insurance, like 820.
Would you do that deal? Would you do that deal if you were the seller?
Well, he said he wanted to make some money, so instead of
He's gonna lose
giving
his
him
ass.
full price.
He's
What's
gonna
that?
lose his ass. He's gonna lose his ass. Why would I do that deal with you if I've got $1,250 coming in the doorway? Why would I put you in this thing for $600? Listen, I'm playing devil's advocate here for a minute.
Yeah,
That's
well,
what- that's
I'm
the
giving
first
him
thing
his
that comes
asking
back to me,
price.
bro. Yeah.
I'm giving him his asking price and paying him 5%.
If you can cash flow this thing as fat as it is, right? Why not deal with his greed glands and give him a little tap on the shoulder so everything's good and throw an extra $5,000 or $10,000 at him? And if the longer you can balloon this thing out, the more money you're going to make, because you're going to wind up probably selling, refinancing this or whatever down the road. If you keep it as a rental, right? And his balance of 105,000 might turn into 75 or 85,000. I like doing balloons that are way down the road, because the further out they are, the more money I make.
I was
you
trying to
still
do it
wanna
a 5-year, and then, you know, it's $612 a month over the 60 months. That would have made him another $36,700.
What's the 5% is what, interest?
Yeah, I was going to give him 5% interest.
You're generous. I bet you present your deal, and I present
Well,
my
that's actually
deal.
how I was originally going to do it, and then after talking to Arturo on Friday, he got me off. You know, instead of just offering the 5%, he said, you know, we got the insurance, we got the taxes. What else do you need a month? Trying to get him to give me a number, and then see if I can just work that with no interest. And then if he had to have interest, you know, give him a percentage of it. Like if I could have split it, where right now at that $611, like, you know, 500 of that's interest.
Yeah,
Only
well,
like only like $130 of it was principal. And
Don't
so
you
after the
think-
5 years, he would have been, you know, we would have given him another 104,000 to buy him out.
I'd rather have the
So-
104,000 in my pocket. What do you think?
He's going to get that plus that 36,000. So he's going
All
to
right,
end up
so-
making.
All right, so let's go back a second. Think about this a minute. Your deal puts another $104,000 in extra money in his pocket, right?
No, that
Over
would be the
5 years.
balance. That would be the balance after the 114,000.
Okay, and that's putting down $5,000, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so when it's same deal, same everything, right? Don't give him interest, and give him 139 for it. Now, who's getting? Does that sound better?
Yeah.
caught-
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm saying, deal with his greed glands. Don't play around with interest. Don't talk about interest unless you absolutely, positively have to. And if they say, listen, I give you 5% interest, I'll tell you what, I'll give you no interest for the first 4 years. And starting on the 5th year, I'll give you 2%. And on the 8th year, I'll give you 4%. And on the 10th year, I'll give you 5%. Because what happens is most of your money is going to go down to paying down the principal. And the majority of the money that he's going to collect in interest is going to be on a small balance, and you're done. Got it?
Yep.
Do it in stages. You can do that in stages. You can do that in a contract. You can do that on a good mortgage banker can put that together for you. A good commercial attorney. So it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. But look to try and get it in stages. Give him what he wants. Give him more. If doing it your way, you're gonna put $140,000, I think he said, somehow extra in his pocket over 5 years, offering him $20,000 or $30,000 more up front. He go, wow, I really got this guy. This guy really wants my car, really wants my house. Yeah, but I'm not paying him any interest. You don't talk about interest. So I want to pay out the balance of your equity at X amount of dollars per month, and we're through. Or we're gonna balloon it or whatever. He'll know what you're doing, but you're still playing with his greed gland. You're giving him more money than he's asking for. You see?
Right?
This is nasty shit.
Hey,
Once you learn how to do this, oh boy, you become very, very dangerous.
hey,
Yes.
Steve.
Yes, sir.
So I got a similar situation. I called this investor, and he got this property up that he's trying to flip it to an end buyer. And what I gave him, I told him, listen, what if I'm be able to give you a price? Would you work out some terms with me? And she's like, yeah. Would you do someone on a finance? And she's like, okay, I'm open to that. So how do we go about structuring the well? And then after that, I was like, hey, how much do you want down? And then she's like, look, I'm looking at 20%. I was like, I can't do that, but I'll give you the price that you want. Can we work on the price, and then lower the down payment? Is that the way we're supposed to go about these, or?
First, you told me the person was a wholesaler looking for an end buyer.
No, that not. Well, it's a cash buyer. They buy
All right,
bunch of properties.
Stop. Whose name's on the deed?
I think her name.
Okay, then she owns the house. So now, forget about end buyers. Forget about all that shit for the time being. If you got to figure out what does she want?
She wants 90,000 for the house. Actually, 80,000 for the house. That's what she asked.
What's the house worth?
The house is worth about, I would say, 85, 90. That's give it or take. It needs some work, not a lot of work.
So the way it sits, with the work that it needs, it's worth 85 and 90, and she wants 80.
Yeah.
Is the house habitable? Can people live in it the way it is?
People can live in it. Yeah.
It's a lease option, man. There's not enough money there. I would think it's a lease option. I wouldn't put a contract on it unless I know. I mean, you can put a contract on, but I mean, it's all in how much work you want to do for not a lot of money.
Yeah.
If demand is there and the house needs work, now you got to find somebody to move into this house that don't mind, doing work on the house. And we're thinking about it. If it needs a lot of work, then it's not even a lease option. It's more like a contract. You're just going to flip the contract and just let it sit. Let somebody buy it and take the deed.
Let's suppose the house doesn't need any work. Would that be an owner finance deal?
It could be. They could all be an owner finance deal. You can
Okay.
make anything an owner finance deal.
That's my point. I want to kind of figure it out. But how
Okay.
do I know
All right.
that it's an
Okay.
owner finance deal?
Okay, so you're going to talk to her.
Guide me through the steps. Yeah.
Does she know that you're a an investor?
Yeah, she knows. And then she's like, what do you want to do? I'm like, I work on the creative deals.
I love it. Love it. You tell her I want to give you the house is worth 90, and
Yeah.
it's really worth 90. She wants 80,000 for it.
Yeah.
Okay, tell her you want to give her $1,000 down, and I want you to hold the balance of. I'll give you $500 a month for 5 years, and then I'll give you $800 a month until it's paid off. Throw her any numbers; it doesn't matter. And just all that's going to do is open up a conversation on financing.
Mm.
So I'll give you $1,000. Is she living in this house?
No, she doesn't live in the house.
Is the house up for rent? Is she an investor? Is it for rent? No.
Yeah, well, yeah, the house is up for rent. You know, the house is vacant right now.
Ooh. You know how much she was renting it for? Any idea?
$1,000, she said.
$1,000. Okay. So with $1,000, she had to pay taxes, insurance, and repairs, and all the rest of that. So if you figure taxes, insurance, I don't know where this is, but let's just say it's $200 a month. That's down to $8. You're gonna, even if you bring in a management company, that's down to $7. And we're gonna look at you're gonna make some money. Let's take $200 out of that. Now we're down to $5, right? So I'd offer her $500 a month with $1,000 down. And in 5 years, I'll give you $800 a month. And in 10 years, I'll give you $1,000 a month till it's paid off. And who cares? Now you can take that deal and it's 0% interest. So how much is the interest? I'm going to pay your equity out in installments. Are you a bank? No, I'm not borrowing money from you. I'm just paying out your equity. So if you want a different deal, all right, then I'll make you an offer with interest. No problem. We can build it in, but I'm going to give you a lot less for the house. Oh, they don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
She wants 80,000 for the house. If I'm going to put a deal together and sell or finance it, all right, you're going to wind up having to buy this house. Well, let me think about it a second. Because flipping a deal when there's a mortgage and a note involved and all that is a little tricky. All right. If you're lease optioning the same deal, or you just option, you put an option on the property, you can flip an option. That's a lot easier to do. And a deal like this, you might even flip it to a landlord. If then the option can be with all these terms built into it. And nothing takes off maybe until you find a lender. Or everything is completely assignable, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everything is completely, you write in the contract, everything's assignable, right? And you as soon as you sign the contract, boom, you're in the doorway and you start looking for your lender. I mean, rather you start looking for your buyer. And you might find, you're probably going to be better off putting someone behind that house that's going to be like an investor or something like that. But you're talking about there's not a lot of spread here on the money.
That's what I'm saying.
When you start talking about selling it with financing involved, you're really looking for. I don't think that's going to work. It's tight. It's tight. When you bring consumers in, you're talking about Dodd-Frank. You're talking about a whole bunch. There's legalities and things you have to do by law, even though you don't have to do it on the front end because you're doing it business to business. On the back end, if you're going to talk to consumers, there's consumer laws you got to deal with. All right, it's a whole another fucking ballgame. All right, so this might not be worth it. This might not be worth the trouble financially to put that together. This might just be a flip of a contract, or a flip of the option and go on to the next one. There's not enough grass growing in the front yard to make this thing work. I don't know, Justin. What do you think?
I just think it's ironic because sorry guys about the dog.
I think so too.
This afternoon at my VIP coaching session, we were looking at a deal that was not going to fit a lease option very well. And then I was like, okay, so tonight we'll run through it, which we did at the deal laboratory. But now you guys are talking about a deal that doesn't really work very well for seller finance, but it works great for a lease option. I think it's ironic. I love it.
See, when you do these options, there's no liabilities. There's no long-term nothing. When you buy something or you start signing on the dotted line for financing and you're going to, assign and all that, it gets a little touchy. You got to know what you're doing. These are more or less advanced techniques. Right now, this is a mag. Keep it simple, man. Don't get involved with that stuff. Look for stuff that you got to spread on and make it happen. Make it happen. Option. Some people don't even like the word lease options.
That's what I'm trying to do, but they come into my lap. They come into my lap, so I gotta do something.
Well, Thomas, I want to buy your house. What do you want? What's it going to take to make you happy? I don't want to make you too happy, really. And then if you don't know what to do with it, bring it down, bring it to the class, and we'll get one of us on the phone and we'll go through it with it. I might offer that to everybody, but I'm talking to you about it. All right? I know you're really trying. I got guys from out of state calling me that aren't on the lab because they get this thing on Monday nights and it's free. It's open for everybody. So, and I got them calling. So no, I'm not on the lab. Goodbye.
Oh my God.
So it is what it is.
I got your private number. No worries. I won't tell nobody.
Oops.
He's gonna write it on the nicest truck stop walls.
That's all right. Whatever.
Just the nice ones. Just the love ones. The love
That's
truck stops.
Whatever. What else we got tonight? Mag, I hope I answered your question, bro.
Yeah, thanks, Steve, again.
All right, man. All right. What else we got?
We got a good group here.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Hey, Hervik.
Hervik, what's happening, man? My man from, was it New York or New Jersey? You're in New York, I think, right?
I was born in Queens, yeah, but I grew up in Florida though. I'm in Miami.
You're in Miami. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm here where the hell am I? I'm in Daytona right now.
You driving down to Fort Myers, is it?
No, I'm actually I was just in Jacksonville and I had to stop to do this podcast, but I'm heading back to Kissimmee right now. I got the house there. I'm just staying there for the time being. So you guys, it's too freaking hot down here. Oh my God. This is like Satan's microwave. Anyways, what can I do for you, man?
I kind of got a similar deal, kind of like to what you guys are talking about. I got a guy on the hook. He the house is worth about 95. He wants 85 for it. I initially made him a cash offer for 65. I said maybe if we could do some type of seller financing, I could do 70, 75. He said if I could do, he said he'd like 75, 80 on it. And I think that and he's up for some seller financing. He's up for it. His wife is.
So what's he looking for? What do we got to get to make a deal?
I love it when sellers say that because then I'm like, okay, so $75,080. That sounds great to me too.
What's he looking for?
He wants to buy his neighbor's house, and the house he wants to sell me, he's done some upgrades to it. He's gonna send me some pictures of it. His stepson lives there right now, so I know it's livable. And he's telling me about all these repairs he's done to it in the last 5 years. New HVAC, new bathroom. He says, he's done all kinds of stuff. But I'm waiting for the pictures. He wants to sell me this house. He wants to get it off his, get rid of the responsibility because he wants to buy his neighbor's house and stick his stepson in there.
Wow, go buy the neighbor's house first.
For me to go by the neighbor's house first? See what's going on.
That one, right? Yeah, right. Oh boy. Oh boy. I didn't say that. All right. So the house is worth 90. He'll take 75.
Yeah, he said 75, 80 according to our last conversation. It was last week, and the weekend's gone by, and I didn't reach out to him today. I should have, but I was busy doing some other stuff. His wife is supposed to be getting me pictures of the house. I asked for pictures of the interior.
What state's the house in?
It's in Georgia.
So that's a non-judicial state. So that's a good state to do business in. You got if he offers you some financing, what will the property rent for?
I think it'll rent for probably like not here. I got the some notes here. I think it was 900, 950, 925.
Let's just say $900.
And he
So
wants
split it.
700,
He wants what?
700 a month.
Yeah, well, that's nice to want. Does he want a down payment?
He wants a down payment. We haven't discussed a down payment, an amount. I asked him for I deferred by asking, hey, can you give me some pictures of the interior? I need to know what I'm getting into.
Well, you know what? He said 700 a month.
He has a
That's not
mortgage.
gonna- $700 is not going to work because you got your taxes, insurance, and everything else, and you're going to work. You're not going to make any money. What do you want to do with this thing? Rent it out, keep it, flip it?
I was thinking of just flipping the contract maybe to someone else.
Well, if you put something together with seller financing, all right, that makes the deal a lot more interesting. All right. What would I do? Small numbers, but you can make money with this.
I was thinking,
So
yeah,
it's 75,000. Offer him $1,000 down and $450 a month, and see if he bites on the hook. And tell him we can balloon it in 10 years, whatever's left.
I know he has a mortgage on the property, so
Good. How much is the mortgage? You
the
know,
mortgage is 40 grand. I believe is what he told me, if I remember correctly.
I want to know what his payments are. What are his payments?
I didn't ask him what his payments are.
How long's he own the house?
It was his parents' house, so they've owned the house for a long time.
So
I could-
you look on PropStream, how old the mortgage is?
I know that he refinanced, and so
Doesn't matter. It should still be on PropStream.
yeah. You want me to look now? I can jump on there and
If
check it out.
good, well, because I don't know if we got anybody else lined up here, but let's give
Yeah,
it a shot.
I can hop on there really quick. Take a look. I'm logging in right now.
So we're gonna look and see how old the mortgage is, and look and see what they say the approximate balance is. And if we're at $40,000, you're gonna know that's the one that we're talking the same language here, or it might not show on there at all.
I remember it showing. It's the loan amount was for $58,800. It says the estimated loan payment is $309, and the estimated loan balance is $47,000.
So that's probably your deal. You probably got another $150 a month or something like that for taxes and insurance. How much can they be on a house there in Georgia? So, all right. So you said it was 300. That's an estimate. You can't really. They have no idea that when they do these numbers, PropStream, they're using their own metrics. They're using their own formulas. They're not looking at the original contracts. They don't know what the interest rate is, but they know about by the term and where that property is and the date and all, approximately what a decent middle of the road interest rate would be and what those terms would be, and that's what they use. So it's not perfect, but you got a general idea. So if he owes 40, maybe you take over his mortgage and give him a couple of dollars a month. You know what? This guy probably wants to buy this other house. He just wants some payment relief. He doesn't want his name on both properties. You know what you could do is offer to take over his primary mortgage here and say, listen, I'll offer to take over the mortgage, 40, 50, 60, 65, and I'll give you $25,000 in cash.
But he loved that.
So now I'll take over your existing mortgage, not to exceed $42,000, you could say. And then I said, I'll give you 25 grand in cash. So what happens is you bring in a private lender if you're going to hold on to the property for the 25,000 and you close it, and you decide what you're going to do with the property from there. Maybe you'll rent it out, maybe you'll sell it and wrap it, whatever. Or he puts the deal together for you. Rather, you put the deal together and say, I want 60 days to close. I mean, this thing, I'm not in your state. This thing could have a lot of hair on it. I don't know. You know, that's what it's going to take. You know, with COVID, you know, I broke my leg. You know, I don't know, whatever. Get as long as you can, and then put this thing on the market and see if you can flip it with the seller financing. Because everything's going to be, if you do this right, everything's going to be assignable. All right, and if it's assignable, and you keep it simple, right, you can have somebody else come in the door, walk in. They put the $25,000 up. They got the front end is all built-in financing. Hip hip hooray! So instead of them bringing you could sell a house for $100,000 with 50% down. Now you don't need a bank. Just come on in and see me. 50% down, and I'll finance the rest. There you go. You know what I mean?
I
And
got
now,
my,
and now you're not. Now they come in the door with 50% down. That takes you out. That takes out the second that they're talking about doing, basically. And the guy's happy. He's out. He's got his money, and he moves on. So there might be a deal where you could actually advertise that and say, listen, I'm willing to sell or finance it. It's a cheap house. It needs a little bit of work. Put 50% down, and you guaranteed approval. Your phone will, your phone will probably explode. So
guaranteed to what you said?
I says you're 50% down. I says there's no guaranteed approval. Your phone will
Yeah.
probably explode.
Gotcha.
How's that
And-
sound?
Yeah, no, it sounds good, and you hit a couple of notes there. A couple things you said. You said for me to tell him to give me 60 days. He's already given me 60 days because he said that he wants to be closing on the other house in 60 days.
Because
So
he's figuring you're definitely going to closing on this thing. You know, so yeah, don't hurt the guy. I mean, really,
Yeah.
don't hurt the guy. Whatever you say you're going to do, you got to do. You know,
Yeah,
he's counting on you. He's counting on you. So put together a deal that's good for you. And he goes, well, I'm not taking that. I says, okay, well, all right. You know, I appreciate, you spending the time, I really wanted to buy your house. I did spend some time on this, but if this doesn't work for you, maybe I'll call you back in a couple of months. And if you still got the house, maybe I feel confident, that if you still got the house, we can probably go forward with this deal. But, if it's not, it's not. Don't be afraid to, take your shoes and your socks and walk away.
yeah.
Because it's not a real big deal. You can make something out of this, but you got to be creative. You got to bring financing into it to make the whole, for the icing on the cake. And when you put deals up to sale, and you've got built-in financing, it's awesome.
Mhm.
It's awesome because you'll have contractors knocking on your door. You'll have every realtor on earth is going to be knocking on your door. And they all have people that they want to bring in the door where they couldn't get approved before. Look how many undocumented people we have in this country. Look how many people got cash and are working off the books. I got an SOB right now that beat us. Well, tried to beat us for 4 months rent. He got the county to pay the damn rent, and they paid him ahead a month. Sorry, this is a little offbeat, but I just want to say this. Now he just puts in again to get relief for the month of August, and I drive by his house, and he's got a brand new dually Dodge Ram diesel truck in his driveway. Son of a bitch. Can you believe this? Yeah. All right. So that was a little off case. Sorry about that. Sometimes you just got to expand and grow. Anyways, all right. What else? Hervik, anything else, man?
No, you hit some key points right there, and I'm definitely going to use some of that when I get back on the phone with him. I was thinking a different strategy, but like you said, tell him, hey, I was thinking some type of owner financing, but taking over the mortgage might be a better idea. Hey, here's 25 down. I'll take over the existing mortgage, not take.
That 25 can be $5,000 now. You can always go up to 25 grand.
Yeah.
As long as you got the private money guy, I'd rather you bring a private money guy in and put a second on the place if you have to close on it. If you don't sell it, you got to be ready to own this damn thing. So you bring your private money guy in for the 25,000. You give him interest only, right? Let that sit on the property, right? Until you decide what you're going to do with this thing. After that, if you close on it, and if you can rent it out, and you can make yourself $400 or $500 a month, it might be worth it. Maybe you keep it for the year and you flip it. Then you got long-term capital gains if that's still on the books, and you flip it then, and the difference in the taxes might be worth your while also.
You said offer my private lender interest only on the 5 or whatever 25 grand.
Well, you don't want to dilute his investment. So in other words, if he gives you $25,000, let's just say, and you're going to give him 8% interest. If it's 8% interest, principal and interest, and it's for 5 years, at the end of 5 years, he's not getting 25 grand back from you. He's getting 24, 23, whatever the number is, right? I don't like to dilute unless I'm going out real long term. All right. I don't want to dilute. In other words, he's going to give me this amount of money, and at the end of the contract, I'm going to hand him back the same amount of money, and I'm going to pay him the small amount for renting his money for that period of time. It's called interest. And I want him to get the same money from me every single month. I put the money directly into his checking account. He don't have to worry about it. See you in 5 years. That's it.
Yeah.
You got a right to pay it off early.
Yeah, for the private money guy we're talking about here.
Yep.
What kind of interest would you offer them?
Well, you ask them what they'd be interested in, and sometimes they'll tell you, well, if I can get 5 or 6%, that'd be good. Well, I think I can do that. How about I give you 7? That'd be all right. Don't make it obscene. You're going to give this guy 10, 12%. You're so happy to get a deal done. Don't do that, because they're going to think this thing's illegal or there's something hairy about it. But most of my investors that I'm bringing in now are between 6 and 8%.
6 and 8%. Okay.
Yeah. And I tell you the God's honest truth, guys, there's so much money out there. My biggest investor called me this afternoon, and he's tracking me down because he came across, I think he liquidated something, and he wants me to go and invest a bunch of money for him. And I'm not doing that right now. I'm waiting. Cash is king. I'm lining up cash just to attack in a few months, so, but I'm not sitting on the sidelines. I'm still, doing what I'm doing. So anyways, Hervik, what else, man? Anything else?
No, man, I missed a couple weeks. I had some family in town, so I was just kind of been busy with that. And then before that,
listen to all the podcasts. Just don't listen to last week.
Last week.
Last week was an off week, man. Forget about last week.
Okay.
Tune in. And that was pretty rare, but that's pretty rough.
A guest speaker or something?
No, yeah, guest speaker was me. I was out of my mind. Yeah, it's okay. I think I had 2 personalities that night. I don't know. Whatever. It happens. That damn Justin pushes you over the edge,
What did I do? I
don't know. Something about, I ain't gonna say it. All right, we're all good. All right, Hervik. Hey, man, keep it going. Thank you, sir. Anybody else? What else we got? Questions?
I saw Jerry popping on a couple times. I thought maybe he had something.
We got anybody online? Anybody with questions?
Let me check real quick, Coach Steve. Let me check.
So don't forget, now you guys got to vote for this Golden Cowbell Award. You need spelling on my name. It's S-T-E. I can't say that.
We've got
really, whoever you vote for, whatever it is, it's all good.
We've got
while we're waiting, okay? If you got people, everybody here should bring a new member to this group every month. Every member. It's not a big deal. Just ask somebody to join. And I mean it. And
even if they're not interested or semi-interested, but not committed.
If they're interested in real estate, they belong on it. If they're not interested in real estate, or they're just a general investor looking for a place to put money, this would be a good place for them.
I know a guy that's interested, but he's not. He wouldn't put in any work or anything. He just wants to learn it. He just wants to slow go it.
Well, from a financial standpoint, I suppose collecting his fee every month for the podcast wouldn't be bad either. But you really want people to understand they're going to contribute. So, yeah. But that's okay. I mean, he might get anything and decide this is really for him.
That's what I'm thinking.
You never know. You never know. Yeah.
So yeah,
pretty remarkable.
So everybody here should try their damnedest to bring somebody on in the next month. Come on, guys. We want to grow this thing. That's
the honorable
on Monday nights.
The honorable Claude Diamond's been watching us.
Oh shit. Claude, Uncle Claude, if you're there, say hi. Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
Well,
I gotta call him anyways. Indeed, he's due. All right. Anybody else got something? I think it's after 10 o'clock here on the East Coast. So, and I got a long drive ahead of me. So if we're done, we're going to call it out and we're going to hit the road. But we had a few people on here. Let's see. Yeah, we got some guys on here. Victor Walker. The Victor Walker is on. Oh, for crying out loud. The preacher man. Where is he? Come on. Preacher man.
Steven, I've got one for you.
He's hiding.
Okay. Go ahead.
I got a text tonight from a guy that I wrote a contract to. And I wrote it kind of high, and he wasn't willing to budge on it. And so we ended up getting to the point where, we couldn't move forward. And that was about the 1st of July.
Right.
I got a text from him this evening. He said, "Hey, Ed, got your check." I sent him his $10 earnest money. So we kept in touch. I made sure I got that taken care of. And he said, "Question, I've been through 2 contracts that have fallen through because of the couple's financing. Frustrating. If you're still remotely interested, what number would you be comfortable with for the home?" And then he sent a second text that said, "Frankly, just want to move on to more important things for me right now."
See what time
Wonderful.
does? See what time and
Wonderful.
frustration does?
Beautiful.
Well, sir, I've reconsidered my offer, and this is where I'm going to be at now. Yeah. What'd you want? What was your plan with this house? What did you initially want to do with it?
I just wanted to assign it to somebody.
Oh, so all right. So go put it together. Go assign it. Make him an offer. It's got to shave $10,000 off the top of it.
He was at 119 when it started. I was at 113. Then he dropped it down to 104. Looks like he painted the exterior, it shows now. And it's not, it's in good shape. I mean, a landlord could certainly get someone in right away without doing anything to it.
What's the rest of the area look like?
So the rest of the area, there's, the lion's share is in that, 70 to 90 range. And then there's a few hundreds peppered in there too.
Is it a rental neighborhood?
Low hundreds.
Is it a rental neighborhood?
It's kind of an entry level neighborhood. I would think there's some rentals in there for sure.
Well, around that county, what's the medium? What's the medium value? Do you know?
The medium what?
The medium home value.
Looking at this specific neighborhood here, like I said, they're in the high 70s, 80s, and then a couple of low 100s peppered in there, 138.
If you look at the county, how big is it a big county where this thing is located?
Yeah, it's in Indianapolis here.
Oh, then it's
so I guess I should see what he's thinking, but I'm thinking more. It's got to be at 104. It's showing the value is. Let's see here, they're showing the value at 114.
The house vacant?
I'm sorry.
Is the house vacant?
It is now. Yes, he had a guy that was ready to rent the previous owner. And so he was ready to come in at $950 rent. I don't know if he moved with that or not. So. So I'm just wondering what to go in at to just try and negotiate him where he's going to give me his price and then or just.
How long has he had it up for sale?
A couple months.
In a situation like this, if I feel real good after I make the first offer, I did the wrong thing. If I don't feel like I'm about to get sick or I got cramps in my stomach, and the guy accepts it, I think, I paid too much. You ever feel like that? So going in the door and playing with this guy, and the house has been on the market for 2 months already, and he's coming to you now, you're paying too much for it.
Yeah,
absolutely. I'd say back off 15%. Go in at 90 or 92 or. You can always go up. You can't go down. He's coming back to you. Say, you know what? I bought 2 properties in the last month. I am in the same areas, and I'm paying 88 for this one and 91 for this one, and it's all done. So I can't go over 100 grand. I'm not even in that ballpark. So if you want to talk, if you're serious and you really want to do something, I can probably get in the low 90s. If that'll make it happen for you, let's go to contract. I can get a contract to you this afternoon. If not, hey, listen, because there's not a lot of money. There's not a lot of meat left on the bone there. It's another low turnaround deal, but it's up how hard you want to work on it. Listen, you could always put it under contract and then go back and renegotiate again. But you want exclusivity. You don't want this guy out there marketing this damn thing while you're out there trying to do your thing with it.
Yeah, I think he was doing that while we were working together at that point.
So And if it hasn't sold for this amount of money, you know what? Odds are it's not worth it.
So
I don't know.
70% of 114 is 79.8.
Well, I
I
don't
think I
know.
should go in
You're
low
not gonna
80s.
whatever. You know what? You can start anywhere you want. It's where you end
Yeah,
up. But if you insult the guy going in the doorway and he's
Right.
not, if his motivation level is a 7 or an 8, yeah, go at it. If his motivation level is a 3 or a 4 or a 5, then you're going to offer him 60, 70 cents on the dollar. He's going to hang up the phone on you. You're going to get fired. And you just killed yourself. So find out what his motivation level is. Talk to him again. You haven't spoken to him in a couple of weeks, right?
yeah, I know it's high. And I looked at PropStream. It looks like he owes about 43 on it.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
great. That's great. Say, listen, would you have any interest in me taking over the existing mortgage? And I give you some money for you. I give you, and I give you 40,000 in equity. I give you that in cash. Now you just got the house for 85 or 86,000. If PropStream is right.
Right.
But understand when you do that deal, okay, you're gonna buy it, you're gonna have financing it. That isn't really something you're gonna want to turn around and flip so fast. Maybe you want to keep it around as a rental or something like that. Because these are the gems you really want to keep for cash flow.
Yeah, that's that opportunity is here.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Now that everybody on the phone is completely confused, I'm good. Rick, my California man. What's going on in California, Rick? Put the participants up.
Not a whole lot out here, man. I'm
Yeah.
doing more out of state.
Yeah, I got you. Everybody's I'm from New York, and they're not doing. New York is out of. These guys are out of control. What's happening there? Everybody's waiting for the big crash, and that's.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I don't see that happening anytime soon. I see it happening, but not for a little while yet. So
People are just nicer.
yeah, right.
Right.
Exactly.
People are nicer.
Right.
Mr. Victor
Exactly.
Walker is on. We have Victor Walker on. The Victor Walker is there he is, the preacher man. What's going on, Victor?
What's going on, man? Just sitting here listening in, trying to do a little bit of work.
Why does he call you the preacher man, Coach Victor?
This guy gets up on that pulpit and talks. You can hear a pin drop. They listen to this guy like they come dressed in their Sunday best. And they don't dare challenge the preacher man.
Right.
You listen to this guy, you think you're in church. I'm telling you. It is fabulous.
He has his reasons, right?
Yeah, I'm telling you. It's all good.
I love it.
Anyway, how's it going there, Victor?
Not bad, man. Sitting here in this I'm still in Iowa. In this property. So I'm working it up. I had to do some things. I couldn't leave right now. So just kind of kicking it and trying to maximize this warehouse part of this property, right? I have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. That's what I'm sitting in right now. And then I paid 110. It's worth about 207. And then it has a warehouse store, and it's like massively huge, right? It's about 2,800, even more, about maybe 3,200 square foot of warehouse space.
Great.
Yeah, so trying to figure out, talking to a few different organizations and stuff to see, how I can position it and everything. Came and found a house. The house had been vacant for a little while, needed some work and some rehab. So I just got me rented some furniture and decided to kick it. And now, I got my internet, I got all my stuff going on. So I'm just sitting here doing what I do all the time.
You look in your neighborhood where this warehouse is. What do they need in that neighborhood? That's
what I'm trying to really, that's what I'm really trying to uncover is because I need to find, ideally the house will pay my note and do all of that. So I'm really right now just focused on getting somebody into the property. I'll have the property. I got some folks coming by tomorrow to clean out my vents and do some stuff on there, because it, like I said, it's been closed up for a while. But
where I'm getting at is you get a lot more money for it if it's geared toward a certain industry. So is the property, you know what I do with commercial shit. Is it geared towards, is the CO or the use of the property, is it specific for anything?
No, it's not specific for anything. It could be self-storage. It's set up in such a way, and actually self-storage is a direction that I'm actually considering, because there is no storage in this area. The ones that have actually done self-storage are all sold out. Like as soon as you open a self-storage spot, it basically sells out.
How much property is there?
1.25 acres.
Yeah, it's not a real big place for a self-storage, but
well, it depends on what you're storing, right?
Yeah. How big is the house?
Square feet wise?
How big is the house?
Square feet?
Yeah.
It's 1,500 and change.
All right. So if you do a self-storage, they're going to need office space. So if they could get into the front of the house and convert that around, and maybe put a different front on the place, man, you might have hit pay dirt, because everybody wants to do the self-storage shit right now.
Mm-hmm.
We had someone at my RIA. She was up in where was she from? Massachusetts somewhere. And she doesn't do top of the line ones. She does like lower end and middle market. All right. And she says that's where the real money's at. She buys low performing and turns them around, and she'll buy stuff that's just underpriced, under the market, and she'll buy those and flip them or wholesale them.
Yeah.
I wish I had her phone number, man. Oh,
I
gotta find it. I gotta find it for you. You should have a conversation with her, because she
that'd be awesome.
She does this all over the country.
Yeah.
That'd be worthwhile.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can find her information. I'll email her.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I just got hold of I have a friend who really deals with a bunch of the hedge funds and the institutional buyers.
Yeah.
And I was able to convince her. I paid her for it, but she gave me her list. So I've been reaching out to these buyers, because Justin and I have been talking about this Super Saturday concept, and I've been trying to move towards putting that together. So Justin, we're a little bit closer as of yesterday.
That's good news. It's good news, Coach Victor. Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
These guys, hedge funds, want bigger deals or numerous deals.
Yeah, either bigger deal. Well, what I'm doing is I'm going through the list, and I'm basically creating criteria sheets. Exactly what these guys are looking for. Exactly, like broken down, contact person, closing process, the whole nine. And ideally, I'll have a portfolio of people who I absolutely know, and then we can put it out there. Like we can put it within the group and say, okay, this is the area, this is the deal. Go hunt, and if you have it, we gonna turn it.
There you go. There you go. Well, good luck. Good luck. I'm gonna, over the next couple of days, I'm traveling, but I'll see if I can find the information for that woman.
Oh, that'd be awesome, man. I would appreciate that.
Yeah, and it's worth the conversation anyway.
Absolutely.
So, absolutely. And you already closed on this? This is yours?
Yeah.
Well, did you put it out there? Did you put it out there for a?
Yeah, I've been fielding calls and stuff. I just haven't gotten what I wanted yet.
Okay. So you already got your feet wet. Okay. I told you. Now listen, you can hear a pin drop outside because Vic's talking.
I'm trying to be Steve.
No, man, you don't want to be me.
You're saying he's like E.F. Hutton.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, right. I scared the hell out of these guys this morning on their call. Oh, geez. Well, listen, be there tonight, and I'll show you how to make another $10,000 on the same deal. And went, whoa.
Yeah. I was on the call. I heard you.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
All right. Everything else is cool?
Yep.
Very good. Very good. Now, for the cowbell, don't remember, you spell his name with a Victor. Victor. Listen, this is, I expect you to do the same thing for me now, Come
Yeah.
on.
Now we're gonna ring that cowbell once I tell you, once I get this thing under contract and it's cash flowing nicely.
He's handling this thing like it's gold. It's really plastic. Really, I bet you.
It's pot metal, but it's got gold paint on it.
That's how they get that work.
With real gold chips.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's it.
It's getting to be a long call. All right, guys. Good to talk to you, Victor. Thanks for popping on, man. Appreciate it.
Oh, man.
You're the
Thanks
best.
for sharing all the knowledge.
You're the best. You're the best. Hey, Victor, we got to push these people. Tell everybody they got to bring in one new member every month. What's the big deal? If we bring in one new member every month, think about it. You know how big this thing would be and how much information we could flow and how many people across this country we can link together? I mean, come on. Besides, he's going to give half of it to us. So what the hell?
Yeah,
right?
that's what he said.
Whatever. He disappeared. What happened to him? He got off. Oh, no. He's still there.
We lost him. When you said half, he lost his connection.
So half a zero is what? Let me see what that is.
What? I'm sorry. I had a text message coming in. I didn't catch that.
You know what's great about this? We can fool around, talk, curse, drink, whatever we want. It's all good. On Monday nights, alcohol is optional, so it's all good. All right, so let's see who we got here this evening. We have, of course, Justin. Victor is on. Ed Klasky, Hervik, Bag.
What's up, Hervik? Long time no see, bro. How you been, man?
This guy is killing. Killing.
Thanks, Victor.
Good to see you, man.
Have you met Vaughn out in California?
No, Vaughn must be brand new to the crew. Hey, Vaughn, how you doing, man? Welcome.
Victor, it is very nice to finally say hi to you, man.
Yeah, it's my pleasure, my friend.
But Vaughn's my dude. Vaughn's my dude. So just
back the hell up.
Keep the boundaries.
I'm going to say this again to everybody. It doesn't matter how much theory you have, how much knowledge, how much money you spent on the real estate training and all that. If you can't pick up a telephone and talk, if you can't carry on a conversation, if you can't get to square one, you're not going to make it. You're going to be frustrated. You're going to throw your money away. And you're going to step out. This guy, Victor, is one of the coaches that's on here that shows you how to work that phone, what you got to say. And Mark, I haven't seen Mark on here in a while. Mark's the second guy. These guys are crown jewels for what they do and the opportunities they put in your hands live. You're not going to find this anywhere. This isn't recorded, and and you can watch it on and they chop the thing to death and
right, edited.
Yeah, this is the real deal. So when Victor falls off the chair or he goes off on his homily, this is live. So it's not Memorex. All right, so visit these guys. If you're not online, you're not visiting with these guys, you're crazy. And it's real expensive. It's free if you're a member. So it's all included. All right. Anyways, so we're gonna do this one more. Is there any more questions in the Zoom room or any place else there? Online? I know we're on Facebook or something or whatever, YouTube or whatever.
We are everywhere. We are worldwide.
Everywhere.
I got a question for you if no one else has one.
Sure. Go ahead. It's always a pain in the ass at the last minute. Go ahead.
It's in relation to prospecting for a new market. Because I've been in the Atlanta market for the last 5-6 years, and it's just getting a little tougher to find a deal, I think. And so I'm wanting to look into other markets. I got an email with Mike Carbarone. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. He was on the call with Claude a couple weeks ago.
Carbonero, I think.
Yeah.
That was a great call too, by the way.
Carbonaire, I believe it is. Yeah. And he gave me a couple websites that I could look into, housingwire.com, amongst some other ones. But it's just kind of like a two-part question. Should I be marketing for pre-foreclosures? And because I'm thinking of getting maybe start to look into another market. and maybe going that route, start marketing to pre-foreclosures because of maybe what's about to start happening? And what's, what are some things I should look for when I'm looking into prospect into a new market?
You're going to bring that question to the morning call because that's
Okay.
part of their training. That's not us putting deals together. All right. I'm
Okay.
sorry. And however, all right, when you look at these markets, look and see what's prevalent in those markets and how much action there is. You'll learn. Justin does a whole presentation on that. All right, going into markets, breaking it down, who's what. That's all part of the training. Matter of fact, he's here tonight, as they say. Tell him you want to reopen the door and see if he can do a whole morning on just picking a new market from outside.
Yeah, I'd be happy to do that. I
Yeah.
love to do that. In
Yeah.
fact, I've started doing that for one-on-one students because I feel like they need to know what's going on in that area. I mean, that's what's up. Yep.
Then you start breaking down your market and you say, what the hell am I doing here?
Yeah. And unfortunately, some folks are married to the idea that they have. And then when we get into the details, we find out that there's probably more fertile territory than that, but they're married to that idea. You know what I mean? And it's like, well, how do I make this work? Well, I ain't got nothing for that.
All right, Herbert. Sorry to slap your hand there.
Not so good. So you're saying to hop on the call tomorrow? Is that what you're saying? Tomorrow in the morning?
Yeah, if you want to, that sounds good. We'll work it out, man.
Yeah, and Justin also already has done some trainings on there. Haven't you, Justin? You got some YouTube stuff already on.
Yeah. Yep. I do. It's on. Actually, it's on the VIP Quick Start course in the leads section now. There's a video in there where I actually go in and dissect an area and just kind of figure out what's good. And then we can establish marketing processes after that. But there's no sense in just shooting in the dark,
Gotcha.
Go over your data. Look at what you're looking for. Look at your moderate prices on the higher end, lower end. Pick your averages, a little bit to each side. You're going to know where to. Do you want to be in a lower end area? Do you want to be in a high end area? Do you want to just do pretty houses? Are you looking to wholesale, ugly stuff? It's all of what you're looking for, and everything in between. So, all I could say, it's all good. Decide what's, watch those videos, and if you got more questions, bring it back to the morning show, as they say.
Cool. Yes.
I'm gonna step out of the van here a second.
Show us the speedway real quick before we log off.
I'm gonna go over to the speedway. Hang on.
That's your dashboard.
Somebody else doesn't steal my damn car. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, this is a wild place. You see this here? I'm walking out. Come on, Steve. Hang on, guys. This place is huge. Victor.
Mm-hmm.
There he is. Okay, now I can see. Hang on, boys. Turn this thing around because I'm just staring at myself. All right, 1, 2, 3. There we go. Daytona International Speedway.
Nice.
This place is huge. You would think Chevrolet owned this damn thing with all the Chevy signs on it.
Wow.
And they see the red lights up there, way up on the top?
Yeah.
On the top of the stands. Look at
Is
this
that so
thing.
like an airplane won't fly into it?
I don't know.
Stupid.
Land something on this place. All right. Anyways, that's it for our fun and games tonight. Watch me fall down the hill. Hello. All right.
That's great, Coach Steve.
That's all
Thank you,
good.
dude.
It's all
That's
good.
fun.
We learn all kinds of things on this channel. See that?
That's right.
What to do, what not to do.
Mhm.
I love it.
Listen, if you don't laugh, you cry. I'm learning that.
That's right.
So,
That's so
that's
true.
it. Nothing wrong with laughing. All right, guys. I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. Hope you're doing well and making more money. Bring us some deals next week. Don't be afraid to put stuff under contract. Give them what they want. Give them what they want. You can always go back and renegotiate.
Yeah.
One quick question I got for Victor.
Yeah.
The last couple of months, do you see more and more and more investors doing that now from our club, just giving them what they want, and just trying to and going out and renegotiating after?
I don't know if I can't really speak on it. It definitely seems like it because the activity has picked up. There's a lot more contracts being written and stuff. So I'm thinking, because if you ever watch my show, I do the same thing. I say the exact same thing. Look, get it under contract and figure it out later.
I watch you. I get on your show, but when you start passing the hat, man, I gotta leave. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't
Say this. Let me say this though: get it under contract, but don't marry the damn thing.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah.
It's not a
So,
marriage
Justin-
contract; it's just a contract for real
Right.
estate.
So,
Yeah.
Justin, you think you got more activity now than we had like 3 months ago?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Contracts.
But I will say people need to spine up a little bit and be willing to renegotiate because that's part of the business. Okay.
Yeah.
You hear
Yeah.
people out there talking like, well, I never renegotiate. I just make them the best offer I can do. And then I'll close with cash or a private lender. I'll do my word no matter what it is. Okay. Blah, 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 whatever. All right.
Well,
I lack that integrity, I guess, because real estate is a fluid thing. You got to be willing to go back and say, hey, listen, I need better numbers. And if I can get them from you, I'll close next Friday. That makes a lot more sense to me.
So look where we were 4 months ago compared to now. We got there's quite a few new members, but I mean, look at the people that have been with us for a while now, and how much more activity they're doing, how much more successful they're doing. It's listening to these podcasts and listening to working the telephone. All this stuff makes a huge difference.
Yep.
Huge,
Transformational if you apply yourself by showing up.
You're going to
Yes, sir.
heal them. I see the healing hand coming up. Here it comes. All right. You'll be healed. All right. God, that's enough. I got to get back on the highway. This is nuts.
All right. Love y'all.
Thank everybody for showing up tonight, guys. And I hope we all learned something tonight. And especially with Daytona International Speedway is, don't tell me it's in Fort Knox. Hello. Like who's buried in Grant's tomb? Don't tell me Lincoln. All right, good. Simple
I don't
social
know.
studies test. Yeah, you asked some people. I don't know. Oh man, I don't know where this world is going, man. I really
Who's
don't.
buried in Grant's tomb? Daniel Boone?
Daniel Boo.
I don't know. Could be.
Right.
All right, guys. Have a great week. Make money. All right, and we'll talk to you all next week, and I'll be popping in during the week. You guys
All
take
right,
care.
Steve.
Vic, thanks for stopping in. We appreciate that.
For sure, my
And
friend.
I'm signing off. You guys have a great week. Make money.
Make money.
Take care. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody. Have a good night. Get some
All
rest,
right.
and I'll see you again tomorrow.